Wait, don't scroll, you're about to hear the story of a weapon that even the gods feared. A weapon that held a secret so powerful, it could rewrite destines. What if Achilles' shield wasn't just a piece of armor, but a prophecy? And what if that prophecy is still unfolding today? Our story begins not on the battlefield, but deep within the fiery heart of a volcano, the forge of a god. A heavy hammer strike echoed beneath the clouds of Olympus. The divine blacksmith, Hephaestus, master of fire and metal, was at work. Sweat beaded on his brow as he hammered a disc of bronze, tin, silver, and gold. This wasn't just another creation for a hero. This was his masterpiece. The gods had commanded him to forge an unbreakable shield for the greatest mortal warrior, Achilles. This shield was not merely a tool of war. It was a mirror of time itself. As the metal cooled, intricate scenes began to form upon its surface, not etched by hand, but appearing as if from memory. Hephaestus forged the earth, the sky, and the sea. He forged the sun, the moon, and all the constellations that crown the heavens. But at the heart of this cosmic display, he created something else. He forged the cities, destined to stand in eternal contrast. One was a city of light. You could almost hear the music from its joyous wedding feasts, see the dancers moving in rhythm, and listen to the elders dispensing justice in the marketplace. It was a city alive with the songs of peace, where harvests were plentiful and children played in the sunlit streets. It represented everything worth fighting for: love, community, order, and life. But turning on that same surface was another city, its polar opposite. This was a city of darkness, cloaked in the shadow of war. It was besieged, surrounded by a glittering army. The air was thick with the screams of battle, the clash of swords, and the desperate cries of its people. Sentinels stood watch on the walls, their faces grim. It was a city of strife, ambition, and conflict, where glory was won through bloodshed. This city represented the tragic, inevitable reality of the human condition, and at the very center of the shield, where these two worlds converged, Hephaestus placed an eye. It was a silent, unblinking observer, forged from the darkest obsidian. It wasn't the eye of a god or a mortal, but something more ancient. It was the eye of fate itself, watching, witnessing the endless, repeating cycle of humanity's triumphs and follies. Peace and war, life and death, creation and destruction, all turning forever upon the shield's face. This wasn't just a defensive weapon. It was a living chronicle of the world. When the goddess Thetis brought the shield to her son, Achilles, he was mesmerized. As he lifted it, he felt an unprecedented surge of power, a feeling of invincibility. It was as if the might of the gods themselves flowed through his veins. The shield was impossibly light, yet stronger than any mortal-made armor. He saw the beautiful artistry, the scenes of life and struggle, and felt his own destiny calling to him. But in his youthful pride, caught up in the promise of eternal glory, Achilles forgot a crucial truth, one that mortals often overlook: a gift from the gods is never free. There is always a price. This shield, he would come to realize, was not forged only to protect him. It was also designed to consume him. It was a paradox. To use the shield, to be the great warrior he was destined to be, he had to embrace the city of war. He had to become the very embodiment of the conflict depicted on its surface. Every battle he won, every enemy he defeated, fed the dark city, making it spin faster, shine brighter, while the city of peace grew dimmer in its reflection. The shield didn't just deflect blows, it absorbed the violence, the rage, and the sorrow of the battlefield, reflecting it all back into the soul of its bearer. Achilles, the greatest of the Greeks, was becoming a prisoner of his own legend, chained to the very instrument of his power. The moment of truth arrived before the gates of Troy. Achilles faced his rival, the noble Hector. As they circled each other, the shield seemed to come alive, The scenes of war upon it blazed with an unnatural light, the screams from the city of darkness echoing in Achilles' mind. When Hector's sharp spear struck the shield, it didn't just rebound. For a fleeting instant, the shield flared with the light of 1,000 dying suns. And in that blinding flash, in that single, suspended heartbeat, Achilles finally understood. He saw the two cities turning, and he recognized his own face in both. He was the joyful youth in the city of peace he could have been, and he was the grim warrior laying siege to the city of war that he had become. The shield wasn't just showing him the world. It was showing him his own soul, his own choice, and its irreversible consequence. He saw that one of the cities turning upon its surface was his own inescapable fate. He had chosen war, and now war had chosen him for its final, tragic act. The shield had protected his body, but it had claimed his destiny. After the fall of Troy and the death of Achilles, the shield vanished from history. Its fate is a mystery that has puzzled scholars and storytellers for centuries. Some legends say it was reclaimed by the gods, too dangerous for the mortal world. Others whisper that it was cast into the sea, where it now lies at the bottom of the ocean, the scenes on its surface still turning, reflecting the silent, eternal dance of the deep. There are even those who claim it never truly disappeared. They believe it continues to surface in the collective unconscious of humankind, entering our dreams, influencing our art, and shaping our stories. Because that shield, it's still watching. The eye at its center is still observing our world, witnessing our own cities of peace and our own cities of war. Look around. We build skyscrapers that reach for the heavens, create art that moves the soul, and form communities built on love and cooperation. Our own city of light, but at the same time, we are locked in conflicts, driven by ambition and fear, repeating the same cycles of violence. Our own city of darkness. The two cities are still turning, and the choice between them is still ours to make, every single day. Achilles' shield is not just a myth, a forgotten relic from an ancient poem. It's a timeless allegory. Perhaps it's a warning, a reminder that the tools we create to protect ourselves can also shape us, even trap us. Maybe that shield is still being forged, piece by piece, in the choices we make, in the societies we build, forged, perhaps, for a new hero in a new age. The question is, when that hero looks upon its surface, what will they see? And which city will they choose? Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this journey into the hidden side of mythology, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon so you don't miss our next deep dive. See you next time.